This loaded gun and a 10-year-old in custody for bringing it on a school bus.
iPhone lovers, get ready when you can get the white i4.
Plus, bacteria in the U.S. has some people skeptical about meat and poultry. How much could be tainted? I'm Sylvia Weatherspoon.
And I'm Michael Marsh. News 2 at 5 is next.
Live from the capital city in high definition, this is WBRZ News 2 Louisiana.
Killer storms across the south, and right now that system is on top of us. Good evening. We're under the gun with a tornado watch until 10 tonight.
Meteorologist Ryan Davidson is tracking storm and strong storms in the Weather Center. He joins us now with the latest. Ryan.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, still looking at a line of showers and thunderstorms extending all the way from portions of central Mississippi and Alabama all the way down to Baton Rouge. The final storm here, the one that's coming over Baton Rouge right now, we'll take a closer look at that. We're going to be talking about some pretty strong areas of thunderstorm activity. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning that is for the Metro Baton Rouge and areas right surrounding it is going to be until 5:15. And this storm also already had reports of small hail falling from it just to the south of Baton Rouge Metro. I'm going to turn on the radar coming directly from the New Orleans Airport high-resolution radar here. You can see that in these areas where there's an extremely pink color, almost towards the white, right around Gardier, all the way over to Port Vincent. That's the area where we're going to see any chances for some hail right along that I-10 corridor. So we're watching that storm system. The warning is going to be until 5:15 p.m. And then after that, things could be quieting down. We'll take a look at all of this and update you as we go throughout the evening.
All right, Ryan, thank you. That same system killed 9 people as it marched across Oklahoma and Arkansas overnight. A huge tree that was uprooted fell on vehicles and took out part of a home. In other parts, a man and his 18-month-old daughter were killed when a tree fell on their mobile home. One survivor described the fierce storms.
All of a sudden, a vacuum just sucked all the air. You couldn't breathe in the cellar, and it felt like your ears and your head was exploding. It was scary.
Clinton, Mississippi, near Jackson, is hard hit with as many as 7 people hurt. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, also had a tornado.
More on a story we broke on News 2 at noon. Deputies say a 10-year-old is in juvenile detention now for bringing a loaded pistol on a school bus to a transfer point in Baton Rouge. Investigators say other students spotted the gun and reported it to administrators, and deputies report they found it in his book sack. The boy is a 5th grader at Wildwood Elementary. Deputies say he claims he was threatened by other students yesterday.
The fact that a child has access to a handgun is really not safe. Furthermore, that you don't know what that child's going to do, whether he or she plans on using that gun at the transfer site or bringing it to school.
That student's charged with carrying a gun on school property. No comment yet from the East Baton Rouge Parish school system. A fight over a woman led to a stabbing in Iberville Parish.
It was a grocery store there in Plaquemine. News 2 Stephanie Ryan gets answers on what happened.
Frederick Young went from a guy who shopped at Butcher Boy Grocery 4 or 5 times a week to a fugitive who police say they'll charge with attempted murder.
He just came up on the guy and just stabbed him.
It's the talk of the town.
It's crazy. Some dude got stabbed yesterday.
Police say they know why 49-year-old Gary Carline stabbed Frederick Young outside this Plaquemine grocery store.
And they were fighting over a girlfriend.
The store's owner says the two got in each other's faces on checkout lane 3.
Mr. Carline left out of the store before the victim, and when Mr. Young was getting ready to get in his car, Mr. Carline jumped out and stabbed him in the head.
Then Carline took off on his bike. But this isn't his first encounter with the law.
Simple battery, possession of cocaine. Lord, he's got 5 pages.
In all, he's faced more than 45 charges.
48. Oh, wait, 49, 50, 51.
Which is why police hope they can catch him. And folks who work at the grocery store do too.
It bothers me a lot because, you know, that makes you think if it happened to, you know, that person, it could happen to you.
Investigators believe Carline may be in Baton Rouge with family. As for Young, I just got off the phone with his family a few minutes ago, and they say he was upgraded today to critical but stable condition. Stephanie Ryan, WBRZ, Balanced News.
Thank you, Stephanie. We have some new information regarding the storms that are happening right now, so we'll send it back to Ryan Davidson in the Weather Center with more.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we just had a tornado warning issued for portions of northern Ascension, southeastern East Baton Rouge, east central Iberville, and southern Livingston and southwestern Tangipahoa for this storm system right here, this one we were just talking about. Like I said, that tornado watch in effect, any one of those thunderstorms can become tornadic instantaneously. So we're looking at this system right here. We're going to be looking right through portions northeast of Carville and just to the northwest of Gonzales. This area right here is where we're going to see any of that tornadic activity. Just to the north, right along the I-10 area, where you're going to see potential for some hail, quarter-sized or larger with this storm system. And again, this is going to be in effect until 5:45, this tornado warning for this area. So if you are in the area just north of Carville along I-10, this tornado, this system, excuse me, is moving to the east at about 40 miles an hour. So keep that in mind. If you're in the path of this storm, you're going to want to seek shelter immediately. We'll have details on that as we go throughout the evening.
All right, Ryan, thank you. The culprit who damaged and stole from dozens of parking meters in downtown Baton Rouge is caught. Police arrested this man, Marcus Wayne Smith, on 42 counts of felony theft and criminal damage. Officers say surveillance on meters was set up overnight. Around 1 this morning, they saw Smith tampering with meters on North Street and tried to smash one open in a vacant lot. Smith ran but was caught with the help of police helicopters. He had $5 in quarters, nickels, and dimes on him when he was arrested. It is the last day for Derek Todd Lee's lawyers to file an appeal in his death sentence. Lee's lawyers were granted previous extensions but were told it's time to move forward when they asked for yet another one last week. Lee was convicted and sentenced to death for the murder of Charlotte Murray Pace 9 years ago. He's also serving a life sentence in the death of Geraldine DeSoto. Lee is suspected of killing 7 women from Louisiana between 1998 and 2003. A head-on crash in Livingston Parish left a man fighting for his life.
This happened overnight in Watson. Highway 16 near 4 Road and Oak Hills Drive was shut down for a while. The driver of a car crossed the center line and hit an 18-wheeler. The car driver was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. First-time climate jumped last week in Louisiana. The Workforce Commission says an increase is typical for the first week of a new quarter. It was up 17% at more than 4,000. The total number of people out of work filed claims that total more than 58,000 weeks of benefits. And federal tax day, Monday instead of today, the traditional April 15th deadline. The 3 bonus days come thanks to Emancipation Day, which is a little-known holiday in Washington, D.C. that celebrates the freeing of slaves in the district. The last time an extension was granted for this reason, 4 years ago. Honors in Baton Rouge for people who died in the 9/11 attacks.
News 2's Sarah Rosario gets answers on how that involved I-12 and why it will go down in the record books.
An American flag was escorted by firefighters from Slidell to the state capitol. But it's not just any American flag, it's the national 9/11 flag that flew over the World Trade Center.
With one stitch, the memory of those who lost their lives on September 11th lives on. This flag flew atop the Twin Towers. Today, it's being repaired by people in Louisiana.
It's about the appreciation for the first responders who gave that day, who gave their all that day.
We love our firefighters. We always will.
But for Mike and Wanda Lamanna, it's much more. Their son was killed at the Pentagon on 9/11.
He was a volunteer fireman when he was at LSU, and he absolutely loved being a firefighter.
4 flags flown in Louisiana will be used to patch the national 9/11 flag. And as this mother makes a stitch of her own, the memory of her son, along with strong emotions, flood her mind.
It's really good therapy, actually, because you don't think about it on a regular basis, or you try not to. But when you see something like this, it forces you to go to that place.
343 firefighters lost their lives that day. Louisiana is the 18th state to participate in the flag stitching ceremony.
They're putting their sorrows, their prayers, their encouragement, their passion on this monument, and it's a great day.
For the Lamannas, it's comforting to know 10 years later, those who died aren't forgotten.
It's a little special to us that there is something there tangible to remember them by.
And once complete, the flag will be restored to its original 13-stripe format, and it will be presented to the citizens of New York on the 10th anniversary of 9/11.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Today, the LSU Board of Supervisors voted to raise tuition by 5% at the Baton Rouge campus. At the same time, students expressed concerns about the rising costs of higher ed in Louisiana. They are taking it upon themselves to be lobbyists for their college in the upcoming regular session.
And we've decided that our voice is not being heard as well in the legislature as it should be. You know, there are coalitions, there are lobbyists there lobbying for something within our institutions and within businesses, but the regular student that is really being affected by these budget cuts are not there.
Because of a $1.5 billion budget shortfall, colleges have taken a huge hit. If you are an iPhone lover, stand by for a white iPhone soon, when it's available and why the release was delayed, coming up next at 5.
Plus, despite skyrocketing gas prices, why the president is steadfast about not releasing oil reserves.